hope this shouldn't be much more than 30 minutes for one episode. So,
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that's enough pre-game gaming. Let's go ahead and get it started. Welcome everybody to the Anime-Versal Reviews podcast here on the Genreverse podcast network, brought to you by LRMOnline.com. Check out that website. We're sponsored by Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Link down below. More on them a little bit later. Well, welcome. I'm Kyle Malone. This is Christine, and the other guy who we have no idea what he's wearing because he usually likes to surprise us and doesn't have a fancy webcam setup is Brian Brantley. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. It's going well. I guess we kind of started the show. I don't think I'll include some of that because there's some personal information there, but talking about the Friday night into Saturday morning severe weather across the Midwest, the Tornado Alley Plains, and into the Ohio Tennessee Valley. A lot of areas where Brian, Christine, and I have been to, have friends or family or even co-workers. Anyone that was affected by that, you're in our thoughts, prayers, all that good stuff. And man, there's some devastating images coming out of Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, like bad stuff. Especially Mayfield, I know, is in the news quite a bit. Guys, if you're out there, best of recovery. Can't think of anything else to say on that.
No, that's pretty much it. Hope everything's well.
Last couple things for housekeeping, I guess, since this show will be going up on Sunday, which is kind of technically the beginning of the week. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, more likely 2 weeks, look for the launch of the Genreverse YouTube channel. Yeah, we're actually going to be spinning off the. Told you guys this was coming for a while. We're going to spin up some advertising and work on some logistics. Hopefully there'll be kind of like a soft open with maybe some back catalog stuff to get you guys started, and then move over a few shows each week. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that. Follow at LRM _ exclusive and at the Genreverse on Twitter, as well as our stuff down below. Subscribe, follow, thumbs up, thumbs down. Hey, I went on our last Wheel of Time podcast, the Dragon Review podcast, and put the dislike counter in the comments myself. So yeah, take that, YouTube. No, guys. Do all of that, and of course Brian's YouTube channel, PulpMythos, is linked below. He'll talk about that a little bit more later. So yeah, here we are now. All the housekeeping is done. To talk about Mieruko-Chan episode 10, Don't Look, and a lot of our theories and questions were answered, and then a lot more were left. And even some new ones with it, but just initial reaction to this episode, Christine, what'd you think?
Really surprising and horrifying in a good way, because I'm weird like that, I guess. But yeah, like the whole cat situation, it was so just like, I know, right? And it's like, because like I couldn't quite figure out from the previous episode like what exactly was surrounding him. I'm like, oh my god, it's cats. I'm sure everyone else figured it out, but I'm slow. So yeah, I didn't get it until watching it. I
thought it was Gengar, didn't you, Brian? Like we were getting a Pokemon crossover.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, it was like, yeah, it was like, you know, like, oh yeah, it's the guy that wanted to buy the kitten, and then it's like, you know, he's a teacher now, and then you see him with in the beginning where he's you know, getting food from a neighbor, and then it's like, oh god. So yeah,
it's pretty brutal episode. Brian, what'd you kind of get into this episode? It's been a couple weeks since we got to talk about it, so yeah, man, what's up?
Yeah, good. You know, like you said, a lot of things we had been talking about was answered like directly in this episode. And in terms of this character, the teacher, I'm watching Dexter currently, and so I'm thinking, well, this sort of is a question. Is this is a scenario where he has a horrible compulsion of something horrible he does, and that opens him up to evil, or is the evil influencing the horrible compulsion? And so that was something that I immediately was curious about as far as how things work in this world. But but
it's interesting.
It does appear we do definitively have our antagonist, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Whether or not, like you said, he's cognizant of his actions remains to be seen. I'm guessing he is. I'm hoping he's not just this awful meat puppet, but who knows?
Yeah, where it's like it could be where it's just like he's just the negative, where like the friend is the positive, and it's just kind of like where maybe that's just because he's like that. He's just energy sucking, and then spirits take advantage of him or something like that, or it could be something bigger. I don't know.
It could be. I thought it was a really good episode. I enjoyed getting so many answers, and even kind of the ending we'll get to it, where you're like, oh, okay, so Miko talks about acceptance, and you're like, okay, so we're gonna go down this. No, we're not gonna go down that path. That shit just went very 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 sideways, very very fast, and it's a really good episode. I guess in order to review an episode, kind of got to break it down, and I didn't do this all in order, but I wrote down some points that we can all discuss, and I really wanted to start with that opening with Zen, the discussion about cats, and then the old lady, and just how dead the eyes are, and how menacing they are at the same time. And again, just artwork, the use of shadows, the use of the line work, the eyes, all of that. This opening scene, Christine, is just creepy as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah, like his stare is very unnerving, and it looks like the blood on the hand, and it's like, oh yeah, I broke a glass, and then it's like
the door.
Instead of, because it's like the thing is like for a lot of cultures where someone that they know, either like someone they know very well or even just an acquaintance, when they see something like that, they're like, oh no, it's I cut myself on something, just trying to reassure them. But he was just like doing none of that. So like for me, if someone had said that to me, I'd be like, I am never getting around you again. Like I am running. Because that's not how humans behave. Yeah. So yeah.
Brian, it's a really great scene. I was kind of interested to hear what you thought again, because you've been a big fan of I know the spirit side artwork, but also the eyes and human artwork as well. And did you analyze the trash? I actually went back and like paused the trash to see if we could see like cat bodies or something.
Well, see, that was my. So I thought there was a lot of importance in that scene, in that she offers him the food, and we see him pour throw it away. He's not eating it. And so I was thinking, okay, well, is he eating the cats, or are we in a scenario where, okay, if you have a positive energy, you're constantly hungry, you're constantly consuming. Maybe it's the opposite. If you're consumed by evil, where you don't want to eat, maybe you have no appetite. And I was just, I mean, I don't know, but I was just wondering if that was possibly what that was implying.
Yeah. And maybe through sacrifice or something with the small woodland creatures or cats, there's maybe that's how they're being fed or kept alive.
Some soul sucking.
Yeah, so soul sucking. It's such a great creepy scene. Like I said, it's kind of interesting, and I think it's part of his voice, and I was telling you a little bit about like why some dubs are absolutely fine and great, but how some sometimes the sub works better because they're able to portray the emotion more, like culturally, right? This is one of those that I don't necessarily want to watch the whole thing, but this character himself, Zen, I want to hear the dub eventually, because I think it's the eyes are way more menacing, and it's that dead voice that kind of gives you that unnerving, that the eyes are dead, but they're not. Am I making sense, Brian?
Yeah,
Or
like,
Kristen,
like
go ahead.
mentally ill or something, you know. Yeah, like where some people who are like that. Like I rewatched on YouTube, like it popped up again. Like this is the way, you know, people who are faking insanity, criminal insanity, and here's someone who is, you know, and how different that is, and where the guy was just like, here's the facts. I have nothing to hide, and just it was no emotion. He wasn't trying to act dramatic. He didn't try to, you know, act, you know, mean or anything. It was just, I hurt someone, and I tried to run. Yeah. And why did I do it? Just because I could.
Because I could.
So yeah, like maybe something like that.
Yeah, maybe. What do you think, Brian? Using with that, do you run into that sometimes where like the original voice just is better at portraying the emotions and stuff?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, there are definitely animes where you just wonder. You're like, I wonder what it sounds like, the dub. Some you don't, you know, it's like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I could see it with this. And also, as far as the facial animation, you know, 80% of the drama in this show is close up of faces, you know, because the whole idea of, you know, I can't let them know I'm seeing. And so it's the sweat, it's the way the eyes look. I mean, that's a huge chunk of what sells this show. And so, yeah, that the animators, you know, spend a lot of time and take care of making sure that every little facial movement and, you know, emotion being shown is means something. And so, yeah, this show more so than most does really good job with, like you said, the eyes and just expression.
Yeah, even like a little twitch. You may not get just that little bit from far away, but up close you can see the small little expressions that people do.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we definitely had mentioned, you know, back when we first started this was Hana and food. Last review from a couple weeks ago. Link below, guys. Definitely, we were like, man, there's something connected, and this episode they dive right into it. Hana and is definitely getting hungrier with the teacher around, so much so that she has to go to the nurse's room for it, which is a cool thing, and we'll talk about Yulia showing up and all that. But Brian, we were right. We caught out. It's not that hard to see, but this is real confirmation, man. Take us down some of your thought process on that.
Yeah, this was one of several things that we had talked about that the show answered for us. So yeah, this was a big one. And like I said, it got me thinking about the beginning scene with the teacher and not eating. But yeah, it's also I love sort of the detective work in this episode, because now we have, you know, our main you can pronounce her name, our main protagonist,
Miko.
Yeah. Figuring things out. Like, this is the first, she's like, oh well, okay, the food's equated to this, you know, she's being drained, like she's like running through everything. And so I was like, okay, that's cool that she's finally figuring things out, because it, like we've been saying, I'm enjoying the show, but at some point is like, where's it going? And so this was the episode where a lot of things were answered, and our main characters are starting to finally figure out what's going on in the world. She even asks a very important question. I don't know, you may be saving it, but when she's like, I wonder if I can get Axe Guy to help.
Yes.
You know, so okay,
we'll talk about that.
But
yeah,
just the fact that she's starting to finally ask the questions and figure out the things that we've been asking and figuring out.
Absolutely. Christine, Hana's a character after your own heart, in love with food. Hers happens to be a spiritual affliction. Maybe is yours? No. What do you think about that being such a key thing? And do you see that? Do you see it having something? Because food is a big thing in Japan. Period. I mean, it's a big thing for humans
in general,
but culturally, outside of Japan, food is
they've got
seen as
so many different types of cafes. Do you think that the food connection, because like Brian pointing out, you know, Zen throwing food away, do you think there's something more there than just sustenance? I don't know. Like, I guess I don't quite understand your question.
just kind of more like in the people making the show's mind, like you using food in that, because everything here is like culturally centered. A lot of the spirits are based on mythological spirits and things like that. And like I was just pointing out, food's a big. You could have used a bunch of different things. Did she need to have food?
Or sleep
food is
or
obvious,
something.
Yeah, food
but
is obviously
food is energy.
Yeah.
You know, some people, you know, when they get hungry, they get a little sluggish. You know, especially, you know, dealing with like blood sugar and stuff like that. So yeah, food is, you know, you can feel a little more energetic after eating. So
you're not yourself when you're hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong?
Grab a Snickers.
Oh yeah.
Hungry? I mean,
I'm hungry and tired. So right now I'm sluggish right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and it's just like even that time where she's like, I just ate and I'm hungry again. Like to me, you know, she's very innocent but clueless. Where it's like something must be wrong because I literally just ate. What was it? Those two things. She didn't even know what they were. Miko asks, "What are those?" I don't even know. And then she's just eating it. And
they weren't buns.
Yes, they were not. But yeah, so like maybe eventually she'll, you know, connect something where something's not right. But right now she's just, oh, I just love to eat, and I guess I have a high metabolism or something. But yeah, because that's not normal.
Yeah.
To have eaten that much and then pretty much immediately be hungry again. So
definitely. Yeah. I'm curious, like I said, just what's going on in the back of minds with it. Is it more of a just for the human connection, or is there going to be some sort of like in universe connection to food itself? I don't know why or how, but you know, that's a question that I had in my own mind. I guess, you know, why not? We're being optimistic, ladies and gentlemen. We're thinking that we can keep this somewhere around the 35 minute mark. So let's go ahead and take a word from our sponsors over at Grow Generation. Take it away, guys.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. The Grow Generation commercial team is armed with industry-leading professional consultants. Grow Generation's team will help you fully manage any size or scale project. They offer turnkey facility designs, cultivation room design, and on-site project consultation. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
All right, thank you, Grow Generation, for sponsoring the episode. As always, guys, Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. So Brian brought up an important part, a question that Miko asks herself. I can't remember the exact series of events, but Hana's in the nurse room, and then Yulia comes in. She sees them walking down the hallway and is, of course, interested, and the nurse says, you know, your friend is back there. And there's a real sweet moment where Yulia's like, friend? Like, oh, I've got friends, and you remember that we're watching a really fucked up slice of life anime.
yeah, pretty much.
So here's you know, so Yulia shows up. Hana's talking about being hungry. Yulia gives her 3 mushroom candies, which I'm telling you, dude, I've never seen unwrapping animated like that.
Yeah,
like, holy shit.
Yeah, that did stand out.
It's like that's some crazy magic right
there.
They
showed in the fucking unwrapping of candy.
Yeah.
And it looked good, didn't it?
Yeah, but mushroom candy?
Oh, I'm not saying like the candy sounded good, but the animation was just like all the symmetry, the unwrapping, the motion, the color. I'm telling you guys, like, this is a really good looking show. So Yulia can actually see the life aura, and this is like, we've been seeing it around Hana, but some of us thought maybe Miko could see it, but Miko says in this episode, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, she says, I can't even see life auras or anything like that. But then she goes, Yulia can't see the big ones, right? She did say that, right?
I don't remember.
I didn't pick that up.
In that scene, yeah, it was one of those. They both see different things.
Exactly.
We do know that. And then I love the moment where they're sort of talking,
openly
and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, Yulia accidentally, says something she shouldn't.
But neither of them know what the other is capable of completely.
Exactly.
And that's been sort of the drama, which has been interesting. I'm curious to when that's going to change, or if it is.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it will.
Hope so.
Yeah, because it's like communication is so important, and if these two get on the same page, they can, help each other and help, just their friend Hana, and it's like, why aren't y'all talking? Yeah, it's just so weird.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at the scene
to where it's at.
Yeah.
The scene right. He's at the scene right now where she.
Yeah, but
Yulia reveals. You found it?
Yeah, she says, "Does Yulia-chan see it too?" She definitely doesn't see the big scary thing. I'm reading the subtitles, but wait, Hana's life aura getting drained. Waiting. I thought she was just the type who attracted them. Maybe it was before that. Maybe not. Maybe she can see them. I don't want to spend too much time trying to find the exact line. But regardless, we know definitely Yulia can see them. Mm-hmm. And they do. Yulia's like, she's the one that makes the food connection for Miko, as Miko's trying to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah.
But it is funny when she's like, oh no, I let it all slip. She does cover it up, I mean metaphorically.
Lift your spirits.
Yeah. It's again one of those slice of life moments, and it's really important. With that other part that Brian had brought up, when Miko starts, wondering about the opposite. If Hana's, all this bright stuff, and the teacher's got all this dark stuff, she wonders, could I get the axe ghost to help me out? And we'll get into another part of the conversation dealing with interactions with ghosts coming up. But that's a pretty important question. Can you exercise ghosts with another ghost? Can you ask them to do that? We know she's got the guardians.
We learned in the haunted house was the first time where she reacted and sort of confronted one of them, and they reacted as well. And so we established that you can verbally interact and possibly influence them, which she hasn't done ever except that one time. And I'm curious to how that works, or what the temperaments are of each individual. They all seem to do their own thing. Hell, they consume each other at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, who's good, who's bad.
Exactly.
It was one of my first thoughts was, I wonder if she could go get the axe ghost before she even said it. So it was pretty funny. Did you think about that at all, Brian? The axe ghost before she mentioned it?
Because it was, it definitely was showing that they, like I said, they're not all on the same page as far as their roles, and it also showed that there was a way to take them out, and so it made sense that her mind would go to that, and she knows where he's at.
It makes me kind of, how should I word? It makes me almost want to go back and watch everything, because I'm starting to think that there's not a single wasted frame in this show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where maybe there's a little more that we can pick up on, and we can talk about it. Second watch
through or something later. But I would be interested, because coming up on this next segment, the next big part of the episode, they're at the park and leading into the end. Excuse me. Miko and Hana are sitting there. Hana's eating the food, and Miko's realizing all of the spirits that are actually around. But there's Miko talking about things that she could, things that were affecting Hana before Miko could see things. I thought if I just ignored it, things would work out. But that won't help. And then she goes and notices that there's spirits everywhere, basically. Kind of realizing that they're not hurting everyone. Some of them are just kind of tagging along, and almost has like this breakthrough moment of sigh of relief and sees a kid.
Yeah, they first see the little girl and she waves, and then they walk off, and then there's a kid with a balloon, and then he waves, and Miko waves back, and then it's like
the balloon pops and evil smoke, or well, you know, spirit smoke, if you will. He
starts to shift back into what you know, his spirit form, and he's like, you can see me.
That was it was like he tricked her. Like,
yes, that's what I was wondering. Did she trick herself, or did he trick her? That fucker tricked her, is what I think.
Yeah, I think he was testing it, because like some of them, they keep asking, can you see me? You know, and they keep trying to get in her face. So with this, it's like, and it's a kid, so it's like, where did you, man, you're messed up. So yeah, it was just like, and then it starts charging at her, and you're just like, oh shit, what exactly can it do to her? And then you can go to the next part if you'd like.
It's great, man. We get our guardians, we get an answer, another answer. We were curious, did the first guardian thing at the temple count as one or not? Obviously not. They held up one finger when there was two of them in the episode at the tunnel.
Yeah, they did the one.
Yep, and then this time one of the guardians gets splattered, and the one that's left holds up two fingers. That was two, and Miko makes the connection herself. Brian, badass guardian fight, like fuck, and a big answer there. She's got one more. What happens after that one? Do they not protect her anymore? Does she have to pay a price? Like,
I'd be going to the next shrine.
I'd be right back at the shrine.
Where's your brain going with this fight and information, dude?
Well, first of all, though, you know, we've seen it several times now. Those fights are so awesome. Like, they're animated beautifully. They're. I mean, it's back and forth. You know, they're beating the shit out of each other. Sometimes dying in the process. So, yeah, those fights are amazing. I didn't expect that was going to be a part of the series, you know, going into it. I didn't expect we would get, you know, any kind of action on that level. So very excited to see what the final one will be. But like you said, what does it mean after that? Is she just on her own? Could she go back to because she went to the shrine, did a little prayer thing, and that's when they
paid
were
more money for it too.
Yeah. So can you just go back? I don't. That was
or go to a different shrine is what I was thinking.
Or go to So I am curious about that, or, you know, I'm assuming ask the same question or wonder herself. But yeah, I can't wait to see what the final whatever it is that's going to attack her, and she'll need help.
And you know, will the big guardian have to come back? Will that little one have to face it itself? I hope it doesn't happen this way, because it would be kind of cliche, but you almost can see it not having any other way if they want to continue on with a certain line of this. Is the guardian tries to protect her one more time but fails, and then the big guardian has to come back, and a bigger underworld ghost spirit thing is revealed. You know, I don't know if that's the way it would happen, but that's a very anime thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyone else want to any theories or thoughts on the guardians?
No, I don't have any theories on that. Although I do think that Miko needs to try to start searching for answers. You know, just anyone. I go shrine to shrine, start talking to people, try to find that old lady again. But she needs to figure some stuff out and see if there's any abilities that she has besides just seeing them. So yeah, it's, you know, she's been just stuck for so long because of fear and everything. I'm wondering if, like, next episode she's just gonna be like, I can't keep doing this, you know, and try to
fight back or change the situation. The old lady, I do wonder if we're gonna see her come back, the Legend of Zelda witch, but who knows. The last kind of thing to talk about is this week's post-credit scene. And yeah, I had been seeing some of the post-credits, Brian, but I'm guessing I missed last week's. That's why I wasn't aware of them. But
yeah, you texted me, you're like, did you see the
like,
post? I was like, yeah, they all have them.
Yeah.
It's like,
but this one was really good.
Yeah.
This was really important, and while we all are assuming it's Zen going down the alleyway facing a cat with some wicked, it looks like a crab claw.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
You see, it's got the little
like
teeth and stuff in it, but it's not necessarily a crab claw, but it looked like one. There's a couple of schoolgirls. I think they're from Miko and Hana school, and they see him go down the alley, and then they come around the corner. He walks away because they hear the cat, and they go and basically looks like save the cat's life. And it brings up a whole bunch more questions about that beginning scene. You know, all these cats have been missing. There's a lot more crows around here at the trash, which is why I was looking for cat bodies and stuff like that. It's one of those though where, like I said, we're making an assumption that it's Zen. What if it's not? Like,
yeah.
What if he's a red herring? I don't think so. I think it was Zen. Brian or Christine. I went to Brian first last time. I think the post credits scene. Any thoughts?
Besides the fact that it was incredibly disturbing, my first thought was, man, you're gonna get the plague. Cats are important. So yeah, it was so weird because it's like, what's the purpose of slaughtering the cats exactly?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's theories like I talked about in the beginning where it's like maybe like some kind of soul sucking thing, or that's what he eats. But I doubt that he eats, especially after what Brian said, because that makes a lot of sense. Where he doesn't need food, but he does absorb energy, you know, something like that. But yeah, it's like, is he the big bad, or maybe just the big bad for the season, or you know, something, I don't know.
Or meat bag puppet. Brian, thoughts on the post credit scene?
Same. Why cats? You know, is he killing them? Is it a sacrifice? Is it for consumption? You know, why specifically cats? I'm assuming it's tied to some kind of spirit or something, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like with Egyptian culture, you know, like ancient Egyptian culture, you know, it's cats are the guardians of the underworld, but it's like that's their thing though.
Yeah,
so
but
what's
cats have spots across
Yeah.
multiple. I mean, yeah, the oldest, of course, go there because you know Mid East and Mediterranean is where people and including Egypt in that, which is Mid East Mediterranean for those that don't know their geography. That's where like domestication, you know, starts at. But you think of the Ketchi myth in Ireland. You think of the lucky cat in the far east and things like that. So I could see the cats having a cultural significance there, but you are right as far as the spiritual aspect of felines dates very, very far back in human history. So
yeah.
I think I ask every week, how many episodes?
12, Brian. So two more.
See, and that's my. There's so much it feels like there's so much to do in so little time.
Well, we did get a comment on our review of the last episode. Someone had mentioned that they are further along in the manga, and that this show should answer a good arc, including stuff dealing with Zen.
Okay.
And then they said that they believe, because it's doing real well in Japan, that this should get a second season, and I hope it does.
Oh, it better.
That makes me feel like there's a lot more to it, and this is such a beautiful looking show. Like just the artwork, the colors. Even though I'm not a big fan of either song at the beginning or end, the animation is great. I hate pastel colors, and I don't know how they make it look good on that opening, but it is just such a great looking show. I can't express that enough, how wonderful the art looks. So, anyone else got any final thoughts before we do clean it up and get out of here?
I do. I wanted to say thanks to the commenter, because I'm now excited that there's going to be a season 2.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
There's nothing official announced that we know of.
But that, more than likely that, there could be. So sorry for the wording, but, there could be a season 2. So it's like something to get excited about. Because I don't do too much digging, otherwise I'd spend all my time on the internet doing research. So some people, they'll dig at what they like, so it's like, thanks for the knowledge.
Absolutely. And kind of on that one, Brian, it's something you and I talked about a while ago, the idea that we research and we're connected to so many people behind the camera and off screen in Marvel and Star Wars and a lot of Western things, that I stopped doing Mal. I don't watch other reviewers. I rarely pay attention to voice actors and directors and artists, and it's not like a slight against them at all. It's literally so that that anime doesn't become what Marvel is to me now, which is almost work. Like, yeah, I still enjoy a lot of it. I'm enjoying
so much
Hawkeye,
gets
but
spoiled, and
exactly,
you dig and you hear people's theories, and it just kind of spoils the fun sometimes. Some people love that sort of thing, but yeah, I know we're not like that. Sometimes it's just you want that surprise.
We're running out of escapism, and this is kind of like the last place for it, right, Brian?
Completely agree. Yeah, Marvel and Star Wars, although I'm a fan and I still follow, I know everything before it comes out, and that's just the way it's been for the last couple of years, really. And so, it takes a little bit of the excitement out of it, and I'm not as quick, I'll wait to watch things, or, I'm just not as excited. But like you said, with a lot of anime now, I'm going in blind, I'm not looking up stuff, and I'm just sort of enjoying the journey. And it's been refreshing, because the last several things we've done, I didn't know a whole lot about them. And it's just a different kind of experience.
And we owe all of this to what we had thought was a bad case of insomnia, when really it was just really fucked up narcolepsy. But back in 2019 and into 2020, when I discovered Dr. Stone, which reignited my personal hunger for current anime. I'd always been watching things off and on, catching big movies or shows that had released, Attack on Titan, things like the big, some of the movies we've covered. But it was that show that got me to get the subscription back to Funimation, and I got back into Dragon Ball Super, and slowly discovered all these other things. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun getting through Gridman and Dynazenon. Now we're watching Jobless Incarnation, because I can't pronounce the first fucking word of that goddamn title, and that's pretty cool. All the mature anime you and I have been watching in preparation for the return of Midnight Run sometime in the new year. But yeah, we really appreciate everyone out there for watching. Please do follow on your favorite podcast app, Genreverse Podcast Network, and for now the LRM YouTube channel. When we do get the link for Genreverse's YouTube channel, we'll be advertising that for you guys. Please do help us get that 1,000 subscribers and 1,000 watch hours or whatever, so we can monetize that channel as well. Because we don't want to charge you guys anything but your attention, and then eventually some cool merch maybe one day. But the website is our primary source of funding. That's kind of the good thing about working for LRM and Genreverse. Is this is like a sidebar. It's something that we get to feed you guys, but definitely we would love to get better equipment and be able to do more. So yeah, and we would love to do that without ever having to ask you to add an additional monthly payment, because God, man, all the subscriptions, Patreons that people are subscribed to today,
it can add up.
Yeah, it adds up fast. But so follow, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. At the Genreverse on Twitter, at LRM_exclusive. Christine and I have our Twitter information down below as well. Brian, talk about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm on it's YouTube. The channel is PulpMythos, and I talk about shows like Big Sky and Dexter, which I've mentioned earlier, and I believe I'm going to be doing 1883, so look out for that.
Interesting. Christine, we have a podcast returning in the new year with, hopefully with Manny. What's that all about?
Oh my God, I'm missing it so much. So Cobra Kai season 4 is coming December 31st. I was about to say January 31st.
No.
But yeah, so then we'll start up No Mercy podcast again, and I've been dying for this so much. I'm so excited. And I've seen some comments like on YouTube and stuff like that, where people are like, yeah, I don't like Johnny and Daniel together. I'm like, no, I wanted this. I wanted them to be buddies, and so we get to see more of that. And yeah, the trailer just came out recently too, so check that out.
Yep. And you guys can find all that LRMonline.com, Genreverse.com. Thank you guys so much for listening this week. Yes, I know there's an episode that just came out today, but Brian doesn't record on Sundays, and all of a sudden this started coming out on Sunday. So episode 11 next week, guys. Take it easy. Bye.